Chalo, let's have a look at this very interesting question. It's a section A question, 50 marker on corporate failure. But it does enlighten you about a lot of other topics, which can be helpful even if you are doing M&A, even if you're doing investment appraisal. It's very helpful. Explain why a regulatory framework related to mergers and acquisitions is necessary to protect the interest of shareholders and other stakeholders. Discuss two theoretical propositions as raised by Lala Company's board of directors in relation to company's capital structure. Prepare a report for BOD which estimates the value of each Kava company share if it is demerged and listed as an independent company. Estimate the additional value created when combining Lala Company and Kava Company, the percentage gain to each of Lala Companies and Kava Companies shareholder group under each payment method, the impact on Lala Company's capital structure under each payment method, and evaluates the financial and other factors that both Lala and Kava shareholders would consider prior to agreeing to the acquisition, and the impact on Lala's capital structure under each payment method. ठीक है अब Chakula is a large listed company involved in two business sectors. Its main business is in the production of food and drink for supermarkets and other large traders. It also owns a chain of coffee shops worldwide. Chakula Company's BOD thinks that the company is undervalued and is of the opinion that it should focus on the rapid innovation taking place in the food and drink production sector. Therefore, Chakula Company's BOD has decided to unbundle the coffee shop's business into a company called Kava Company. Chakula Company will then either demerge Kava Company through a spin-off or sell Kava. Chakula will then turn its full focus on its remaining business of food and drink. Initially, Chakula Company shareholders will own Kava Company on the basis of owning one Kava share for every Chakula share owned. And Lala is a large unlisted company controlled by 20 shareholders who all have a significant stake. Lala owns a number of hotels around the country and is looking to diversify into the coffee retail business. Lala has approached Chakula about the possibility of purchasing Kava. Lala will finance the purchase either through a cash only offer or a share for share offer. If Kava Company is demerged, it will be listed on the stock exchange as an independent company. Chakula Company is unsure whether to sell Kava Company to Lala or to demerge it into an independent entity. So, what do we know so far? What are the two proposals in front of you? Harsh, bata. What are the two?
Yes, sir. So the one proposal is that they demerge the company, and the other one is if they can sell it off to some other company.
Demerge or sell it off to some other company. Okay, chalo. Lala Company's CEO has determined that a regulatory framework in the area of mergers and acquisition is designed to protect the interests of shareholders and other stakeholders. She wants to find out why there is a need for a regulatory framework. The acquisition of Kava will be a major investment for Lala, and its BOD has concerns about how the acquisition will be financed. The BOD has heard that there are several theories explaining the capital structure of a company, including the following two propositions. A company should maximize its debt financing, and too much debt can be harmful to a company, and there needs to be a balance between equity and debt. Capital structure from Chakula Company's financials. See, Chakula is the seller, Lala is the buyer, and Kava is the segment to be demerged. Otherwise, the names can get a little confusing. Assets are 5010 financed by share capital reserves. Non-current liabilities loan note A. Non-current liabilities loan note B. Chakula Company's shares are each trading at 2.45. The estimated equity value of Kava is given to you. Loan notes के बारे में information is given to you. Loan notes uh, A have a market value of 2100, B has a market value of 400. After unbundling, loan note B will be serviced by Kava and loan note A will remain with Chakula, with the post-tax cost of debt for loan note B expected to be 3.52. It is expected that Kava company will maintain its capital structure after the unbundling. Lala Company's debt to equity ratio is estimated to be 40 is to 60 in equivalent market value terms, and it has 1200 million shares in issue. The cost of equity for Kava is estimated to be 13.51. All companies pay a corp tax at 20% and tax is payable in the same year. चलो ये clarification है. ठीक है. Kava as the demerged company, details have been given to you. Acquisition of Kava by Lala, a lot of other set of details are given to you. They have asked you, see, A and B is theory part, we'll discuss that later. Estimate the value of each Kava company share if it is demerged and listed as an independent entity. उसका डेटा आपको यहाँ से मिलेगा. ठीक है. चकोला कंपनी सेल्स रेवेन्यू इज 4500 million currently, of which 20% is attributable to Kava. It is estimated that after Kava is demerged, its annual sales revenue growth will be 6% and profit margin before interest and tax will be 21% of sales revenue for each of the next 4 years. It can be assumed that current tax allowable depreciation will remain equivalent to the amount of investment needed to maintain the current level of operations, but that Kava company will require an additional investment in assets of 0.25 for every $1 increase. After the first 4 years, growth rate of free cash flows is expected to be 2.5%. Now, in this subpart, tell me, how should we go about it? First of all, अगर अपने को demerged entity का value निकालना है, right now we know the total revenue of Chakula, which is 4500, 20% is attributable to Kava. तो वो निकाल दो. Now, once you have done that, which is 900, this is the current sales revenue. ठीक है. It is estimated that sales will grow by 6%. Profit margin before interest and tax will be 21% of sales revenue. तो PBIT निकालो, then tax subtract करो, you will get profit after tax, which will be your cash flow, uh, which will be your operating cash flow basically. उसके बाद इंक्रीज इन सेल्स निकालो, उसका 0.25% इज एडिशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट इन नॉन करंट असेट्स. ठीक है. ये सब निकालो एंड देन टेल मी द फ्री कैश फ्लो फॉर 1 2 3 and 4. ठीक है. 2 to 3 minutes is all it should take. Okay. डन. चलो.
Yes.
टेल मी ईयर 1 2 3 4 का कैश फ्लो कृष्ण प्रिया.
146.77.
हम्म.
41. T2 is 155.58. T3 is 164.91. and T4 is 174.81.
Very good. Now, see here the rate of discounting is not given to you. You will have to calculate the rate of discounting दिया नहीं है. But you have been told कि ये जो कावा कंपनी है, loan note B will have a current market value of 400 million, and after unbundling, loan note B will be serviced by Kawa company. Loan note A will remain with Chakula. Post-tax cost of loan note B is 3.52. ठीक है, it's 3.52%, which is the starting point for you loan notes. अभी cost of equity है. What is cost of equity? Cost of equity of कावा कंपनी इज 13.51. ठीक है, अब कावा कंपनी हैज व्हाट, कावा कंपनी हैज कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी 13.51, लोन नोट भी 3.52. ठीक है, मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ डेट इज 400. डू यू हैव द मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी ऑफ कावा कंपनी? यस, 1200 मिलियन दिया है. यू हैव मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ डेट एंड इक्विटी, यू हैव कॉस्ट ऑफ डेट एंड इक्विटी. कैन यू कैलकुलेट द WACC फॉर मी? कितना आएगा बताइए?
11.01.
Let's keep it at 11 then, round off कर देते हैं. And then you will calculate the present value of T1 to T4 cash flows, phi to perpetuity cash flows, which are growing by 2.5%, and you can have the total value of the company. ठीक है, have a look at this calculation. Look at the two working notes, revenue and investment in capital assets. I think you got these numbers right. Calculation of WACC we came at 11.01. अब कैश फ्लो आफ्टर टैक्स, एडिशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट इन नॉन करंट असेट्स मिल जाएगा आपको फ्री कैश फ्लो. डिस्काउंटिंग फैक्टर एट 11%, 0.901, जो भी numbers you get. Present value, I don't think I need to teach you how to calculate present value of cash flows anymore. Total value of the company is 1882.82, T1 to T4, T5 to infinity. ठीक है, then what else? पूछा है आपको एडिशनल इक्विटी वैल्यू, सॉरी, एस्टिमेट द वैल्यू ऑफ ईच कावा कंपनी शेयर इफ इट इज डीमर्ज्ड. 1882.82 इज कंपनी का वैल्यू ओवरऑल. ठीक है, इक्विटी वैल्यू इज गोइंग टू बी 75%. वाई 75? कावा हैज 1200 का इक्विटी, 400 का डेट, सो इक्विटी का परसेंटेज इज 75. इक्विटी वैल्यू जो है 1882.82 इंटू 75%, यू विल गेट 1412.12. Total number of shares is 2000. Value per share is 1412.12 divided by 2000, that is 0.71. ठीक है, this was the first part. And if you remember, when we read the terms of demerger, they specifically said that for one share held in Chakula, the shareholders will get one share in the demerged company, that is Kawa company. ठीक है, तो ये जो question है, this is a good example of a demerger also. Now, total share capital of Chakula is 1000. Face value per shares is 0.50. So number of shares in Chakula company is 2000. Chakula has 2000 shares. So in demerged company Kawa, there will be 2000 shares. है ना, 1:1 मिल रहा है आपको. People who hold one share in Chakula will get one share of Kawa. Now, they had asked to estimate the value of each Kawa company share if it is demerged and listed as an independent entity, and then additional value created when combining Lala company and Kawa company. ये अलग part है demerger वाला for 8 marks, which I think we have successfully covered. The second part is additional equity value created when combining Lala and Kawa. अब वो कैसे आएगा? Acquisition of Kawa by Lala यहाँ से आएगा. एक बार ये डेटा देखो. Can you tell me, is it possible? So, value of the combined entity is what we have to calculate. From that, we'll subtract the value of our individual entities, and that difference is the additional equity value created. ठीक है, अब how do we deal with it? First thing is that पहले combined company का अगर value निकालना है, so there are three approaches. There is the asset based approach, there is the प्रॉफिट मतलब पीई रेशो वाला मेथड, या फिर यू हैव present value of future cash flows. Look at this data. Which method seems the most appropriate one here?
PE ratio.
With PE ratio method. So how do you get value of the combined entity? Profits of combined entity into PE ratio of combined entity. Correct? सबसे पहले let's see if we can calculate the profits of combined entity. That will be profits of individual entity plus if there is any synergy gain, then that synergy gain will get added. दिख रहा है कहीं पे आपको? 305 plus 161.2 तो है. Annual after tax profits will increase by 62 million due to combining the two companies. This is the synergy game. Right. So tell me the profits of combined entity.
350.1.
Very good. 350.1. Now we need the PE ratio of the combined entity. ठीक है. Have they given you any instruction on how PE ratio of the combined entity is to be calculated?
Yes, sir. Lara को ये ratio is 10% growth industry पे.
Midpoint between the two individual P.
Basically, average of the two PEs. Correct. Now, can we get PE ratio of Lala company and PE ratio of Kawa company? Now, Lala company is लोग कैसे निकालेंगे? सी एवरेज ऑफ द होटल इंडस्ट्री इज 15.61. लाला का पीई इज 10% लोअर देन दिस, तो कितना होगा? 15.61 माइनस 10%.
14.049.
वेरी गुड. सो 14.05. अब पीई रेशियो ऑफ कावा कंपनी निकालना है. पीई रेशियो इज मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर डिवाइडेड बाय अर्निंग्स पर शेयर. ऑब्जर्व द क्वेश्चन. डू यू हैव मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर एंड ईपीएस गिवन टू यू? क्लियर टर्म्स में, डू वी हैव मार्केट प्राइस एंड ईपीएस गिवन टू अस?
Yes, sir.
प्राइस पर शेयर बताइए कितना है?
We have given earnings, no, sir. So we can just do market price divided by earnings. Earnings is given 117.1.
Very good. So we have total earnings of the company and we have total market value of the company, है ना? Price per share and earnings per share is not directly given, but total market value and total earnings are given. तो PE ratio कैसे आएगा? 1200 upon 117.1 करके आएगा, which is 10 point whatever 10.25. ठीक है. अब 14.05 and 10.25 का average लो. Tell me what is the PE ratio of combined entity?
12.14.
Okay. You have profits of the combined entity. You have PE ratio of the combined entity. Multiply and tell me how much are you getting?
4253.12.
350.1 into 12.15 या 12.14 कितना आएगा?
4253.7.
4253.7. Okay. Now, at this point, they have asked you additional equity value created. You have value of the combined entity. Can you have values of the individual entity? See, value of Lala and value of Kava is what you want to calculate, है ना? Lala company का value will be profit after tax into उसका PE ratio that you had calculated, वो जो भी 14 point निकला था, ठीक है? And Kava company का equity value is 1200 that is given to you. So from this 4253 that you have calculated, subtract the value of individual companies.
650.75.
650.75, ठीक है. Others?
651.17.
Okay. Oh, Ram, long time. How have you been?
So I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Chalo, have a look at this. ठीक है। मेक सेंस?
Yes.
ओके। नाउ, percentage gain to each of Lala company and Kava company's shareholder group under each payment method. The impact on Lala company's capital structure under each payment method. What do you mean by payment method? क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे?
Cash offer and share for him.
There is a cash offer in which you are going to give $0.66 for a Kava company share, right? Or one Lala company share for every three Kava company shares. Lala company will borrow the money required to pay for this acquisition. So, how exactly are we going to do it? अब हाउ मेनी शेयर्स ऑफ कावा कंपनी आर देयर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल? ठीक है, कावा कंपनी में कितना शेयर है वो देखो, एंड दैट इज गोइंग टू बी अक्वायर्ड बाय अनदर कंपनी कॉल्ड लाला कंपनी। अब ये जो कावा कंपनी है, इट हैज 2000 shares if I'm not mistaken, or am I wrong?
Yes, sir.
Right, sir.
Has 2000 shares, and how much are you paying per share?
0.66.
0.66.
0.66, ठीक है। So you have 2000 shares and into 0.66 आप दे रहे हो, that is 1320। Now you know the value before the acquisition, है ना? अभी निकाला था कावा कंपनी का वैल्यू, rather it is 1200, correct? So what is the percentage gain? They have a 10% gain, right? एंड थिंक फॉर लाला कंपनी, ठीक है, लाला कंपनी को मिलेगा कंबाइंड एंटिटी का वैल्यू, ठीक है। व्हाट इज कंबाइंड एंटिटी? ही विल गेट, आई मीन लाला कंपनी विल गेट 4253 पॉइंट, कितना था, 7 था ना? दैट इज द नंबर यू हैड, 7 8 जो भी था, दैट्स, देन दिस कंपनी विल पे हाउ मच? They paid 1320 to acquire the shares of Kava company. कितना बचा? 2933.7 बचा, करेक्ट है ना? नाउ what is the number of shares in लाला कंपनी? कितने shares है? डू यू हैव दैट इंफॉर्मेशन? चलो नहीं भी होगा तो what was the value of the company before the acquisition? Value of the company before the acquisition was 171 into 14.05, है ना? ऐसे ही थे वैल्यूज, राइट? सो द वैल्यू हैज ग्रोन बाय 531। कितना परसेंटेज गेन? 18% गेन। मेक सेंस? कैश ऑफर तो काफी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड था, राइट? यू वांट मी टू राइट दिस डाउन इन डिटेल, कि यू वुड वांट टू राइट इट डाउन फॉर योरसेल्फ? टेक टेक अ मिनट एंड राइट दिस डाउन इन योर नोटबुक। यू नो वॉट, मुझे ही तकलीफ होगी अगर मैंने नहीं लिखा तो मैं ही लिख देता हूं। ओल्ड हैबिट्स डाई हार्ड। Shareholders of Kava company got 2000 into 0.66, that is 1320, ठीक है। Value before acquisition was 1200, so gain is 1320 minus 1200, that is 120, so 10% gain. Now Lala company paid 1320 to acquire Kava shares, ठीक है। Then प्री एक्विजिशन वैल्यू ऑफ लाला कितना था? 171 पॉइंट, या 171 इंटू 14.05, 2402.55 and value post acquisition is 4253.70. Value of combined company minus 1320 cash paid. 2933.7. So gain is 2933.7 minus 2402.55. कितना हो जाएगा? 531.15. परसेंटेज आप कैलकुलेट करो। ये मैं नहीं लिखता ना तो मेरे को नींद नहीं आती है रात को। वी हैव रिटन व्हाट वी हैड टू। ठीक है, चलो अब second way of acquiring is one Lala share for every three Kava shares acquired. How many shares were there in Kava company? There were 2000 shares in Kava company, right? And for every one share acquired, how many were issued? One Lala share for every three shares acquired. So you acquire three and you issue one in exchange. So 2000 upon 3, which is 666.67. What is the number of shares of the combined company? Lala company had 1200 shares. उसमें 666.67, तो total number of shares is 1866.67. Do you agree? ठीक है. Now, shareholders of Kava are going to get shares in the combined entity. Each share in the combined entity is worth 2.28. You have the total value 4253.72. ठीक है. How do you get 2.28? 2.28 is basically 4253.72 value of combined company divided by 1866.67 number of shares in the combined company. ठीक है. Now, to get one share in combined company, shareholders of Kava gave up three shares. Na? They gave up three and they got one share in the combined company. So price per share is 0.6. Price per share is 0.6 initially. ठीक है. They gave
So,
you three shares in individual Kava company. So what was the value of shares given up? 1.8 was the value of shares given up. ठीक है. How much did you receive in exchange? You received one share of 2.28 in exchange in the combined company. What is the percentage gain? 0.48 upon 1.80, which is roughly 27%. ठीक है. And shareholders of Lala, each share prior to this transaction was worth $2. Value per share post transaction is 2.28. So 14%. Just give me one moment, guys. Yes, Krishna Priya, tell me.
सर ये 0.60 ये प्राइस पर शेयर कैसे आया?
Who can tell me where did we get 0.60 from? 2000 estimated equity value is 1200. How many shares in Kava company? 2000. So what would be the price per share? 0.6.
या सॉरी.
That way, नहीं नहीं वो थोड़ा सा मतलब a lot of that data na is crammed in one place. So if you don't write, it can get a little confusing. When I was doing the question for the first time, I got confused with which company is what. So then फिर मैंने लिख लिया यहाँ पे Chakula is what is buyer, what is seller. Yes, Lavina, tell me.
so can we do the direct method? मतलब अभी जैसे equity value of combined company is 4253
Hmm.
and total shares are 1866. तो अब directly मतलब attributable to cover is 4253 into 666 divided by 1866.
चलेगा, कर सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
हाँ ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सर.
वेलकम. ठीक है, ये हो गया आपका कैलकुलेशन हैवी 8 + 12 20 मार्क्स का पार्ट. ठीक है. Then, why is a regulatory framework related for mergers acquisition? The two theoretical propositions as raised by Lala Company's board of directors in relation to capital structure evaluate the financial and other factors that both Lala Company shareholders and Kava shareholders would consider prior to agreeing to the acquisition. Think about this. अच्छा ये थर्ड पार्ट भी है impact of Lala Company's capital structure under each payment method. How will you tackle this part? Can you tell me the steps to be done here? How will you arrive at the capital structure thing?
So they have given 40 to 60 as the ratio of debt equity.
Okay. And how does that help? So that is prior, right? Now, after this, how will you calculate the impact? Any idea?
They mentioned that we need to borrow the money needed to pay for the acquisition. So we'll just add up the value which we are paying to Kava company in the debt.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Ab, whenever the question is asked about what should be the capital structure of, impact on capital structure, you should first of all write what is the capital structure before any of this took place. ठीक है. अब before any of this took place 1200 and 400 था, right? अब after this transaction, sorry, after the cash offer has happened or after the share for share exchange offer has happened, then after that, one second, guys. Yeah. So after the acquisition has happened, so if they have written ki यहाँ पे specifically they have mentioned one point that Lala will borrow the money needed to pay for acquisition. So can you tell me the stepwise approach that you would take here? यशिका, क्या करेंगे आप? आंसर मत बताओ, आप मुझे अप्रोच बताओ. आई वॉन्ट टू हियर द अप्रोच.
In first case, when company is paying cash, and for that it is borrowing, so the debt will increase by the cash payment and equity will remain same.
Hmm.
So we will calculate debt equity ratio. In second case, company is issuing share, which means the equity will increase and the debt will remain same. So again, we will calculate that equity ratio.
Fair enough. Is everyone in agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chalo. Now, what else? Anything else that is required? No. In the numerical part, none. Evaluate the financial and other factors that both shareholders will consider. So, what should you be on the lookout for? If you have to calculate the, or if you have to comment on this specific subpart, तो क्या करेंगे आप? What are they asking you? They are asking you what are the factors they will need to keep in mind in order to, when there is a cash offer or a share for share offer, what would they consider before agreeing to the acquisition? For both the shareholders, what points do you think will be required here?
So the impact of borrowing on company's risk.
Okay. Then,
For share offer, the Lala company should see like for the dilution of the ownership.
dilution of ownership. Okay. Then, see, Lala company is an unlisted company. And Kawa company shareholders, if they are getting shares in Lala company in exchange, don't you think they would be concerned about how exactly will we exit the company? Because an unlisted company doesn't really have, it doesn't have that much of a liquidity the way a listed company has. So I'm sure you would be concerned about that part also, right? Then
The regulation issues, if there are any.
elaborate, please.
Means if there is any rules, regulations regarding the restriction on acquisition, something like that.
Okay. Maybe tax position also they will consider. They will consider what percentage gain they are getting in this process. कितना percentage gain आ रहा है, that they will try to understand. Then I think, see, so you will have to first of all talk about the percentage gain. You will have to talk about better opportunity to shape the company strategy, because now the two businesses are focusing on very individual areas, and it's not like a portfolio of multiple things. Then of course you will talk about the liquidity issues in the because Lala company is an unlisted company. तो वो जो liquidity वाला problem है, that also you should talk about. uh, they will also have to see whether the acquisition is financially beneficial to them. What else? What else should be on your track list here?
So can we also think about in this way employees' reaction of acquisition?
Okay. And what would guide or what would influence employees' reaction? Anything that comes to your mind? But ठीक है, these are fair enough points for you to consider. ठीक है. Now the other parts are theoretical, and the answer at the back should be enough to guide you in terms of regulatory this thing. ठीक है, not a particularly difficult part, so that you can manage on your own. ठीक है. यहाँ पे the gain वाला part was a little tricky, so I thought we should discuss it in class. Anything that you want to ask with respect to the calculation bit?
So I am a bit confused in this part where we have calculated that the number of shares of Kawa company is 2000. The
Hmm.
number of shares of Chakula company I can understand is 2000, but how come Kawa company it's 2000?
That is because of this line, which I have been repeating. Chakula company's shareholders will own Kava on the basis of owning one Kava share for every Chakula share owned by them.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now the thing is, this is, I wouldn't say a very old question, but ये मार्च जून 21 का क्वेश्चन है. आप जितना पीछे पीछे जाओगे उतना the complexity of questions will increase. So which is why I think I keep on telling you कि बहुत don't go before 18-19 के questions मत touch करना, because the kind of questions that ACCA is asking right now are far more relaxed as compared to the kind of questions they were asking earlier. Even that Zula company question that I solved yesterday and I have uploaded, उसमें calculation hardly कुछ है. मतलब I started solving and I realized, why did I waste 30 minutes of my life and your time trying to solve that question, because the only different part there is the theory on reverse takeover, और कुछ भी नहीं है उसमें. दिस क्वेश्चन इज 21 का क्वेश्चन है, तो थोड़ा सा इसमें दिमाग लगाना है. विच इज वाई व्हेन यू आर specifically when you are doing section A, not anything else, when you are doing section A na, there is a risk that you might end up missing out on data, or you might start forgetting the data points that are given to you. So in that case I would recommend कि जब आप लिख पढ़ रहे हो ना क्वेश्चन, तो start making notes wherever possible. Otherwise it becomes very heavy to फिर बार बार you have to keep on going to the question, right? Okay. Now क्या करना है? एक और कॉर्पोरेट फेलियर वाला करना है, या यू वांट टू डू रिस्क मैनेजमेंट का सेक्शन है? यस सहर.
So I have one doubt in the solution that we did right now.
Okay, let me
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
In the second part, we have calculated value given up. So can you please explain like why have we done that?
Because see, in this case, it is not a one for one share exchange, na. So you have, when you are talking about the gain or loss, to know that you should know ki what is it, how is gain or loss calculated, what you received minus what you lost, right? You got one share in the combined company worth 2.28, but to get that one share in the combined company, you had to give up three shares in your company. And what was the value of the three shares that you gave up? 3 into 0.6, that is 1.8. ठीक है?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else who wants to ask anything here? करना है कुछ? पूछना है? नहीं. Okay.